Okay. Well, I'm actually really into meditation as well, so I'm curious what got you into it.
I think the thing that really got me into it, because I struggle a lot with like anxiety issues, and I obviously like I'm trying to find ways. Like everyone who has like a mental health problem is like, what do I do to fix it? Like how do you stop feeling like depressed if you're like depressed, or how do you like stop being scared of everything if you're anxious? And I think like doing research, I was like, oh, meditation, like that just sounds so peaceful. So I started doing reading. I started reading into it like on just online articles. And then Headspace, Calm, like all those apps, the marketing, it worked.
Yeah.
So I like got into it. I don't think I ever like purchased a membership for many of them. I just used the free ones. But no, it really, I think that's what spurred my interest.
So how are you meditating? Do you do it consistently?
I don't do it consistently.
That's fair.
And I want to, and I wish I could more. But the more that I like read into it, there's a lot of different perspectives. There's like the Eastern Asian, like Buddhist philosophy,
it's
and then there's
confusing
like there's now like the new Western perspective where a lot of like I feel like some people are doing it for like the trend, but it's getting more like popular in Western culture, and I think it's like diverging a little bit from its roots. But I've come to realize you can meditate just by like being in the moment. Like you don't have to actively be like sitting like this and just like
yeah, I totally agree. I noticed myself, I talked about it on a few of the podcasts before, but I'll be either hanging out with friends or doing something, right? And maybe something will get me a bit irritated, right?
Yeah.
And before I would just feel like, okay, I'm irritated, I'm in an irritating thought, so I should be irritated right now. But now I can kind of see it from like a third person perspective, where I see the thought, I'm like, whoa, I'm getting a bit fired up. Do I really want to be mad about this thing? And then I try to, I guess, analyze the thing that's irritating me and seeing if it's worth it, I guess. Yeah. And it's actually helped in a lot of situations where I probably would have been a dick to my friends or something. Instead, just let it go and then have a good time.
Yeah, so like, have you read any like books specifically, or like do you just like watch YouTube?
I haven't read anything. I watch Sam Harris a lot.
Okay.
And he has a meditation app. I actually got his yearly membership. I haven't used it a lot in the past few weeks, but I think his style of meditation I really liked because it's pretty much just, it's kind of trying to get in that mode of just seeing your thoughts from a third person perspective and realizing that you are not necessarily your thoughts because they kind of just pop up. And I don't know, I found that very helpful.
Yeah. Do you know, have you heard of The Power of Now?
Vaguely, but I'm not really sure what it is.
So, do you know Kendrick Lamar, how he just dropped like a new album?
I did it.
Okay.
But that's all. I don't really know rap that well.
No worries. Kendrick Lamar just dropped a new album recently. I forget how long ago it was, probably like a month ago at this point. And it was called, I don't know, the name is irrelevant. Basically, he like was inspired a lot by like Eckhart Tolle, the guy who wrote The Power of Now and like some other books. And his book is all about just like being in the now. Like if you're in the now, nothing is wrong. Like you can't, you've always been able to cope with the now. But if you always place yourself in the past and you like criticize your mistakes, or you always like think about the future and put yourself in like a future situation, you feel like you can't cope. But if you're always just in the now, there's like never a problem because you've always been able to cope with the now. And there's nothing more that it's crazy.
No, that's all. Sam Harris says that a lot. Like when you're sitting down meditating, sometimes like a mild irritation can start to feel like really bad pain just because your mind kind of starts acting like it is. And he says that like you might think it's unbearable, but that's because you're thinking of the future pain. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to keep bearing this. But instead, if you think about it, each moment you've been thinking about it, you've been bearing the pain, so it's not unbearable.
Yeah.